So as a writer now, you mentioned before about answering the emails, people sending questions and asking you to do social media. And as a writer, that's something, it's nice to touch, make personal contact with people, with your fans and readers. But you have to be careful that you don't end up being a person who just answers inquiries.
Yeah. Social media is a very powerful tool.
Yeah.
It is very addictive.
Yes.
And as you correctly pointed out, one has to be extremely careful how to utilize it.
Yep.
Now, I have a routine about that.
Yep.
I spend no more than about an hour a day on social media.
Right.
I find that to be very enjoyable and very satisfying because it fits into my day.
Yep.
But I do not rush back to my emails and to my computer or to my iPad or to my iPhone every 5 or 10 minutes to see what's happening.
Yeah.
I have a set time during the day when I do this, over a cup of coffee sitting in the garden, for example, and I take care of my social media tasks. And then for the rest of the time, I don't go near it.
No.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
Because it can take over. And at the
really
end,
like.
you're not writing anymore.
No.
You're just answering social media questions, and you're doing the social media part of your duties and your function as a self-published author.
Yeah.
But it's very dangerous. You have to be disciplined. You have to put it into its own category, into its own box, and make sure that it stays there. But I stress again, its power and its reach is awesome.
Yeah.
And it can be a lot of fun as well.
So on your downtime,
Yes.
what do? You have a garden?
I exercise a lot.
Yeah.
I have a home gym.
Yeah.
Exercise is very important because the writing
Yes.
process takes hours and you are
Very
sitting
sedentary.
in front of the screen.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I get up on a regular basis. Again, it comes back to discipline.
Yeah.
I exercise. I go to my home gym. I do that. I exercise. I walk a lot.
Yep.
I live in a fortunate place right on the edge of a World Heritage National Park. So I can walk for an hour, I can walk for a day. It is a spectacular part of the world. I'm very privileged there. And I do a lot of exercise. My garden is a great passion and I love it dearly, and I use a lot of time there, I spend there. And I also write outdoors in summer.
Okay.
I travel a lot.
Yeah.
I'm overseas for at least 2 months a year.
Yeah.
Partly research, partly promoting the book, the existing one, partially preparing the way for the book to come.
Yeah.
And speaking of preparing the way, as you will remember, I prepared a book trailer for the publication of the first book, The Empress Holds the Key, called Letters from the Attic.
That's right.
Now, we have touched upon the attic, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
These are letters that I send through cyberspace to my readers about the journey of the book. There's some biographical material in it, how the book was conceived, how the characters have been developed, the writing process, how it was done, how long it took. And I've put that together in a form of short stories. And that was released a couple of months before the book was released as a free ebook to download. And I'm pleased to say it was well received, and it prepared the way for the publication of the first book.
Yeah.
And it's still available, Letters from the Attic. I still get lots of comments about it. I think people enjoy reading it because they learn the process behind the book. They find out more about the author. It's no longer somebody standing in the shadows. You become a real person, and people can relate to you. They can approach you. They can talk to you through the internet. They can talk to me through social media. They can send me emails. And I take great care in answering.
Yeah.
And that is how my readership becomes real and become real people, not just numbers.
No.
And I find that to be an extremely satisfying aspect of what I do.
And I think that's nice. I think writers too are changing personalities now. In the old days, a writer was somebody who, there was a wall between the writer and the reader. There was a publishing house there.
Yes.
And I can remember as a young person, if I had a book that had a photo of the author in it, that used to thrill me because I could see that really was a real person. I had some idea. I could connect more with that person just by seeing their photo. So I think we're lucky to live in an age now where authors can connect more. You can express your personality. It's not just what you look like. You can actually reach out.
I actually invite my readers into my world.
Yeah.
Up to a point.
Yes. Oh, yes,
I
absolutely.
don't mind sharing
Yeah.
the writing process.
Yeah.
Now, that is something that really interests people.
Yeah.
I've had lots of questions about it.
Yeah.
When do you write? How does it happen? All those questions you actually
Yeah.
touched upon earlier, they are extremely relevant because readers and the public is interested.
Yes.
And I think if you can become a real person,
Yeah.
that becomes a big point
Yeah.
to connecting with your readership and making your books more meaningful,
Yeah.
and they come alive because people relate you as a real person to your work.
That's
It may be fiction, but it had to come from somewhere.
Exactly.
It came from a person, and as they get to know you through these different processes we touched upon,
Yeah.
I think that is a wonderful tool and a very rewarding aspect of my writing because I get feedback from real people
Yeah.
who've actually read my book. And as every author will tell you,
Yeah.
that is the biggest reward. You want people to read your work, and if you're very lucky, to come back to you telling you how they found it, how they related to it, and what they thought of it.
Yes.
It's a wonderful,
feeling.
It's a wonderful feeling, and in fact, that is a great reward that
Yeah.
I cherish.
Yeah. That's great. Well, Gabriel, look, thank you for joining us today. It's been great to hear.
Absolute pleasure, Jenny.
Good.
I always enjoy talking to you. as
Good,
you know.
likewise. Enjoy your research trip to
Thank you.
Europe, the European summer. I would be lying if I said I wasn't jealous.
Right.
So enjoy it very much, and we'll look forward to the release of Anna Popov in November this year, November 2014,
Correct.
and hope to see you back here in the hot seat next year, prior to the release of The Hidden Genes of Professor K.
Jenny, it's been a pleasure talking to you as always. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Gabriel.